Welcome back my YouTube channel. The United States one-dime coin from 1967 carries a fascinating story that connects history, design, and American progress. The dime, worth 10 cents, is one of the smallest coins in the U.S. currency system, yet it holds great historical importance. The 1967 dime belongs to the Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his role in founding the March of Dimes organization to fight polio, made him a fitting figure to appear on the 10-cent coin. The 1967 Roosevelt dime was minted at a time when America was undergoing major changes, both socially and economically. In the mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint made an important decision to remove silver from most of its circulating coins. Before 1965, dimes, quarters, and half dollars were made of 90% silver. However, due to the rising price of silver, the U.S. Mint replaced the silver content with a copper-nickel composition to reduce costs and ensure there were enough coins for circulation. By 1967, all dimes were struck with this new copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This made the 1967 dime a part of the first generation of modern non-silver coins in U.S. history. The design of the 1967 dime remains simple yet elegant. On the obverse, it features a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek. The inscriptions include the word Liberty, the national motto, In God We Trust, and the date 1967. Unlike many other coins, the 1967 dime does not have a mint mark. This is because, during the years 1965 to 1967, the U.S. Mint decided to remove mint marks temporarily to discourage coin hoarding, which had become a serious problem after the removal of silver. The reverse of the coin shows a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left for peace and an oak branch on the right representing strength and independence. The words, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and one dime, surround the design that in terms of production, more than 2.24 billion Roosevelt dimes were minted in 1967, making it one of the most widely produced coins of its era. Though common in circulation, the 1967 dime marks an important transition in U.S. coinage history, representing the country's move away from precious metals. Today, circulated 1967 dimes generally have only face value, but uncirculated or special mint sets can attract interest among collectors. The 1967 one-dime coin tells the story of America's resilience, adaptation, and respect for leadership. It stands as a small but meaningful reminder of Franklin D. Roosevelt's legacy and the nation's ability to evolve with time, even in the smallest details of its currency. Next coin. The 1976 United States one-dime coin, a small but fascinating piece of American history that carries more meaning than its tiny size might suggest. The one-dime coin, worth 10 cents, has been an important part of U.S. currency for over 2 centuries. The 1976 dime was minted during America's bicentennial year, a time when the nation celebrated 200 years of independence. Interestingly, while other coins like the quarter, half dollar, and dollar received special bicentennial designs that year, the dime retained its familiar look featuring President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Roosevelt dime design was first introduced in 1946, shortly after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. He was chosen to appear on the dime because of his strong association with the March of Dimes, a foundation created to fight polio, the disease that Roosevelt himself battled for much of his life. The dime, therefore, became a lasting tribute to his leadership and humanitarian efforts. On the obverse side of the 1976 dime, you'll find the left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Above his head is the word Liberty, and to the left is the famous phrase, In God We Trust. The date, 1976, appears below his neck, and just behind the portrait is the mint mark, either a D for Denver, no mark for Philadelphia, or an S for San Francisco if it's a proof coin. Turning the coin over, the reverse side displays a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace, and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength and independence. Around the design are the words, United States of America, e pluribus unum, and the denomination, one dime. Most 1976 dimes were struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, a copper core layered with nickel, giving the coin its shiny silver-like appearance. The San Francisco Mint also produced special proof versions for collectors with a mirror-like finish. In terms of value, most 1976 dimes are still worth face value if they've been in circulation. However, uncirculated or proof versions, especially those in pristine condition, can be worth a few dollars to coin collectors. Rare mint errors, such as double strikes or missing mint marks, can make some examples much more valuable. Beyond its monetary value, the 1976 dime stands as a reminder of both America's bicentennial celebration and the lasting legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt. It represents progress, unity, and the enduring spirit of the United States. So, next time you find a 1976 dime in your change, take a closer look. You're holding a little piece of history that connects 2 centuries of American pride and perseverance. Next coin. The year is 1984, and the United States Mint continues its long-standing tradition of producing the nation's smallest yet most iconic silver-colored coin, the 1 dime. Although tiny in size, the dime carries a big story, filled with history, symbolism, and patriotic pride. The 1984 United States 1 dime features the familiar portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This design was first introduced in 1946, 1 year after Roosevelt's death, to honor his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. Roosevelt was also deeply associated with the March of Dimes campaign, a national effort to fight polio, a disease he personally battled throughout his life. On the obverse side, we see Roosevelt's profile facing left. The word liberty appears along the left edge, while the motto, "In God We Trust," is placed just below his chin. The date, 1984, sits to the right, marking the year of minting. Below the date, you can also find the mint mark, either a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or no mint mark for coins produced in Philadelphia before 1980. These tiny letters tell us where each coin was made. Turning to the reverse side, we see the torch in the center, a symbol of liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left, representing peace, and an oak branch on the right, symbolizing strength and independence. Above the design are the words, United States of America, while the coin's denomination, 1 dime, is written below. Between them is the Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, reflecting the unity of the American people. The 1984 dime is made primarily of copper and nickel, weighing just 2.27 grams. It has a diameter of 17.9 millimeters and features reeded edges, those tiny ridges around the coin, a design originally meant to prevent coin clipping or shaving. In earlier times. Millions of 1984 dimes were produced, making it a common coin in circulation. However, certain varieties or mint errors, such as off-center strikes, missing mint marks, or double dies, can be valuable to collectors. Well-preserved coins in mint condition can also fetch a higher price than their face value. Even though it's small, the dime represents more than just 10 cents. It stands as a tribute to President Roosevelt's courage and his efforts to promote national health and unity. The coin also reminds us of America's resilience, how a nation can overcome struggles, rise stronger, and still honor those who shaped its history. So the next time you hold a 1984 dime, take a moment to appreciate its story. It's not just a piece of metal, it's a tiny monument to American leadership, strength, and progress. Next coin. The 1999 United States 1 dime coin is a small yet powerful piece of American history. It may look like just another coin in your change, but its design, symbolism, and historical background tell a fascinating story that connects to decades of American pride and progress. The dime, valued at 10 cents, is one of the most recognized coins in the United States. The 1999 dime continues the long-running design series known as the Roosevelt dime. This design was first introduced in 1946, to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II left a deep mark on the nation. He was also closely associated with the March of Dimes, a movement to fight polio, a disease he personally suffered from. After his passing in 1945, the U.S. Mint chose to feature his image on the dime as a tribute to his courage and service. The 1999 dime features Roosevelt's left-facing portrait on the obverse, or front side, of the coin. Above his head is the word Liberty, while the motto, In God We Trust, appears to the left. The date, 1999, is placed on the right side. Just below Roosevelt's neck, you can find the initials, JS, representing the designer, John R. Sinek, who originally created the dime's design back in 1946. On the reverse, or back side, the coin displays a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty. It is flanked by an olive branch on the left, representing peace, and an oak branch on the right, representing strength and independence. The words, United States of America, and E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, surround the design, along with the coin's denomination, 1 dime, at the bottom. The 1999 dimes were minted at 3 main locations, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark, Denver coins show a D mint mark, and San Francisco coins, mostly proof versions, have an S. These proof coins were specially made for collectors, featuring a sharper design and mirror-like finish. Each 1999 dime is composed of a copper-nickel blend, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, with a pure copper core. It weighs just 2.27 grams and measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, while the face value of the 1999 dime remains 10 cents, collectors appreciate certain versions. Proof dimes or coins in mint state condition can have extra value, depending on their quality and rarity. Beyond its value, the 1999 dime stands as a symbol of leadership, unity, and resilience. It's a reminder of President Roosevelt's legacy and America's determination through its toughest times. So next time you see a dime from 1999, remember, it's not just a small piece of metal. It's a tribute to a great leader and a lasting emblem of American strength and freedom.